into the current meta, which both these teams said they didn't want to do. They just want to play to their own styles.
Well, we'll see what happens here in Champ Select. Curious to see if there's any shake-ups, but Jay's going to start things off fairly standard for Team Liquid, as they'll take that one off the board. They're on blue side, of course. CLG on the red. We'll see how they fare. Again, looking for things like Graves. I think Jhin's been pretty instrumental in the series, so see if maybe he's gotten early attention. Although LeBlanc for CLG Gaming is going to keep things as per usual. There's Shen once again for Team Liquid.
Yeah, the Huhi GoldenGlue matchup has also been very interesting. First time around with Huhi trying to counter pick, cast it into the Ekko. And then second time around, they completely switch it. They both go back towards the long-range DPS control mages. And see what's in store for number 3 here. LeBlanc is still getting banned, by the way, even after the nerfs. She was one of the ones with, a little bit lighter as far as the nerfs go. Pretty much everybody else as well. Actually, standard red side ban so far from CLG from last patch.
That's true.
I would like to see them definitely ban the Graves instead of Camille or anything.
Yeah, I mean, Camille's dropped through both games, and there's actually a ban for Team Liquid, so they'll do the favor there for CLG Gaming. And I imagine Graves will be the ban here.
Graves, yeah.
It's getting first picked if not.
I would definitely expect the Graves ban, but then the first pick, does it become you prioritize your front line and go with Maokai now that Shen is banned, or do you prioritize that backline Jhin that you're talking about, which both of them also had success on, and both of them do feel more comfortable as far as lethality AD carries are right now. So no surprise so far. Step 1 complete. So number 2, will it be that Maokai front line, or are they going to swap it over to AD carry priority? Because that was definitely a big issue, not only First Blood, but also through that mid game.
I think it is Jhin, but no, that's really different. Kha'Zix. So
really different in that it's exactly the same. Where ReignOver picks up the Kha'Zix when Graves is banned. And we talked about a lot before where, he was the one where people were pinching his jungle champion pool and going with that Rengar trade over and over. But neither ReignOver or Xmithie have been very good at playing Rengar recently. Honestly, they have had lackluster Rengar gains from both of them. So much like the Varus in these two teams, it does drop low in priority, and I'm actually a little bit surprised to see it keep getting banned, because a lot of teams have been letting it through versus these guys, and that's why ReignOver and Xmithie have been getting games on Rengar. But with him on the ban phase and with the Graves, the Kha'Zix is picked up.
So. Yeah, and these are the obvious picks for CLG. On the other side, Jhin and Maokai expected. I expected Maokai Kha'Zix if Team Liquid first pick Jhin, but they take Kha'Zix instead. Varus is back for Piglet here, so Team Liquid are going to stick to a bit more standard, and I do like the tank pickup there for Lourlo. Pretty safe, and did have a good game on it also. Yeah,
and even though Piglet's win rate with the Varus isn't that great, there was that one that sticks out in everyone's mind of the flashing forward Varus ultimates where he was creating plays. We'll see if he sticks with the rest of the team, though, because his positioning on the Varus has been odd at times, especially around objectives. And sticking behind the Nautilus is definitely going to be paramount, especially since both teams seem to be running fairly similar, super strong backline divers.
Yep, I like the Lee Sin, though, again from Xmithie. Showed that he could play into this matchup, so I think maybe comfortable giving away Kha'Zix for that reason. And we'll see what CLG have in store for their ban. I imagine there's a Soraka ban on the way on the Liquid side. Maybe even a Nami as well. It's been pretty popular. There's Thresh, so once again for CLG. So kind of funny to see support target bans, but it's actually been a pretty big feature of this series is their Soraka ban.
And the thing that CLG are worried about with this Thresh is because Aphromoo wants to keep playing these sustain supports with either the Soraka or Nami, depending on what's banned. He's worried about the Ignite Thresh coming in, hook landing in lane phase and kills coming out of that, or the Flay combos, a lot of gank assistance as well. So removing a lot of the playmaking from that one.
Oh, Rise ban again, yeah. CLG gonna take that one out. Curious to see what Team Liquid have for their final ban. He have quite a few options to choose from, but I like what you're saying about the Thresher. That's when you get him though. You pick the Blitzcrank into the heal support. Take him out.
More hooks. Nautilus and Blitzcrank.
I don't think we'll see that one, unfortunately. It's been a while since Blitz was a kind of big defensive support.
I do expect something more complementary to the Varus poke style rather than that. So once again, the Zed find himself there, targeted at Huhi, as Team Liquid did last time around on blue side.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see them ban it here, because like he could have taken it in the last game, but they're afraid of giving it to him as a counter pick, and I love this Ekko pick from CLG, just denying that away from GoldenGlue.
Yep, they learned from that game number 1, and it has also been a long-time favorite champion of Huhi. That was, we mentioned the double teleport play that they made against Team Liquid. That really was so surprising and got them that important win. Huhi was on Ekko. That was one of the champions they were doing it with. And in that case, interesting little trying to take away from each other here and trying to take away the sustain from Aphromoo. Now, does Aphromoo want to be a healing champion so badly that he plays the Sona and brings that one back out? Or is he actually going to change it up here? Could still just go with, one of the other shielding champions, but as far as the actual sustain,
ooh. So this is my thinking. Zed's banned. Like, Ekko's really solid. What do you possibly pick into him? Well, why I like the Ekko pick so much, but all right, they're going to farm it out instead and go for Orianna.
All right, so we won't see another one of the melee matchups in the mid lane, and GoldenGlue actually going to go with the Orianna that has, she's just so good all around and has performed very well for both of these squads in team fights. Pretty clear here.
Aphromoo though, maybe still sticking to his defensive support preferences. Not a healer, but there's plenty of shields. Lourlo and Karma somewhat alike, but I like the Karma pick here from Aphro.
Yeah, Karma can give you that team-wide speed boost rather than really focusing more on single targets like Lourlo, and really allow them all to reposition. When you do have a mid lane Ekko, is going to be one of those divers and wants to go with the Maokai, so any sort of speed that gets Ekko into position where he can proc his own speed off of his passive does kind of have a multiplying effect.
Certainly does, and I think Team Comp's looking about as similar as we expected them to, given that we have gone all the way to this final game here. I mean, pretty standard stuff. I think once again we'll have to be looking at the jungle matchup. Both ReignOver and Xmithie can get early work done, and bottom lane, if they decide to go crazy and fight again, we'll have to look out, but I think mid lane's actually maybe the more volatile lane.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that both of the games this series have been kind of that one-sided affair is that both of them running these 5-on-5 squads with the tank in front, and if you get that early lead, force the team fights. Not a lot of other options, though we probably will see teleport advantage for CLG as Huhi on the Ekko bring that one for the early return to lane and then cross-map plays.
Yep, I like it here. CLG set themselves up nicely. We'll see what happens here in our final game between these two. Don't forget, of course, you can still vote out on Twitter with the hashtags TLWin or hashtag CLGWin. Nice little crowd packed in here for our final game of the weekend, Kobe.
Still some probably going on the other stream, but we will...
Don't check yet.
...be done with this one.
You can check after this game. Out of the Summoner's Rift for Game 3 between TL and CLG. Team Liquid really looking to start salvaging some of their season and have a strong run into the back half. And CLG actually pretty firmly in the middle right now. So we're going to solidify their position they've gained for themselves and stay strong moving towards the end of the season.
Both these teams definitely trying to make their spot in playoffs. Give it a little padding. All right, another invade, this time from red side. CLG push him out of the brush.
Yeah, and again, we've seen invades on this side both times, except this time CLG are going to take initiative and invade with the red side.
And they have the Maokai. Let's see, has Sean leveled anything up yet? No, not quite yet. Both sides getting the deep wards mirrored. Looks like they won't be starting the saplings for Xmithie to give him that little boost.
Not yet, at least. Might have
just do the red.
Room for one, but yeah, Xmithie just going to position in this brush instead. Darshan says, see ya. I'm leaving.
Against the Nautilus matchup, could be pretty difficult if you started sapling. So Darshan probably doesn't want to have to give up any pressure there.
Late ward as well for CLG. Aphromoo putting that one down and just getting some vision over the blue buff. So I like a lot of the prep work here from CLG, wanting to make sure that A, know where ReignOver is, but if he's going for any sort of invade, making sure they have that there as well. Because they kind of knew what happened last time when ReignOver got early control of the jungle and do not want to repeat that from game number 1.
Meanwhile, ReignOver did go for the Raptor start for the extra little bit of experience that you get off of those, since there are so many in the camp, and Jungle Item gives you that bonus.
Bit of help from GoldenGlue, so nice stuff there. And we'll again track this bottom lane. They played awfully aggressively, particularly at level 1. And this is what they wanted. Xmithie actually invading, but Team Liquid has spotted that out.
Yeah, they do have a defensive ward on it. We'll see how ReignOver moves over. The prep ward from CLG, one step ahead. As you said, we'll see the counter move from ReignOver. See if they can get back here and punish him, because Xmithie's on the way. They are planning out exactly where ReignOver is going to go. The difference is going to be, can they actually get there to make it matter? And it looks like he might be able to finish it off. Xmithie might be able to get to the blast.
Yeah, he's booking it.
It's a race!
He's going as fast as he can. He has information as well, but just goes for the Wolves instead. I guess the race not won there. Team Liquid's bottom lane actually coming up. Matt, give him a bit of a heal, and ReignOver gets the buff. So just buffs traded here, but nice jungle play early on from both teams.
Saw that they were already behind on the race, plus bottom lane is pushing in for Team Liquid, so they have priority and able to get their support over there first.
Good damage there from Stixxay though. Matt gonna heal it up, but good work done as Huhi dives in onto GoldenGlue, trying to get aggressive, but every auto attack from Orianna in the early game always feels pretty devastating. And looks like Huhi's out of potion charges right now, so might be looking for an early teleport back into his lane, although GoldenGlue's getting in there. And behind Huhi though, gonna keep him safe.
Yeah, we do have a visit here from Xmithie. It's a bit dangerous because Huhi's kind of low at the moment, and they don't know where ReignOver is.
It's a bait!
Yep.
It's a double bait! ReignOver's here! Good dash away from Xmithie though.
Yeah. I don't know if he could have walked a little closer to the brush to try and bait him in further, but regardless, nobody going down. Big difference is that they do get to shove that wave in. And ReignOver got to counter juggle an extra camp as well, so he has this level difference here with Xmithie. Slightly ahead in experience. The top laners are locked up.
Oh, he's
though.
in. ReignOver just gonna track him. Xmithie gets tags him.
Yeah, the top laners are locked up using their CC on each other though, so both junglers just got to kind of walk on through, and no harm, no foul there. Xmithie just has to go back to his own jungle, but because of that long route and the attempt at countering ReignOver there, he actually ends up a camp behind, and ReignOver also able to get the Scuttle Crab on his way out here.
Yeah, nice play again from ReignOver. It's not as devastating as the first game, but we're going to take control early.
And even though Xmithie a little bit behind on camps, he's going for a gank here. Can Maokai lock up Lourlo?
This is how you make it up. There's the route in. Lourlo going to get tagged by the Q. Damage is there, but he flashes out the last mech. And now ReignOver going to look to turn it around. Double slow from that first spike, but no follow-up there.
Spikes actually don't slow anymore from Kha'Zix until you upgrade the W and they're isolated. That's why a lot of people have been, going for the early W
evolution.
We'll see what he does.
I learned. Exhaust down here in the bottom lane though. Piglet getting flashed on Aphromoo. Goes straight in for it, but Stixxay zoned out and low on health. Aphromoo could cost him a bit. Huhi has room down as well. Stixxay trying to stand up, but Matt gonna get the kill. Oh, this first blood for Matt. He does get it. Piglet's gonna fall in return.
Another one.
Matt's trying to chase down Aphromoo. Xmithie, book it as fast as you can. Here's the Orianna, making sure Matt stays safe, and the bloodthirsty Nami picks up the first one.
Interesting little exchange. Very familiar. A lot like last game where they get ganked, and this time around, Team Liquid, they get the first blood. Matt is the one who cashed in. Huhi, though, is very deep.
Looking for the 1v2. Xmithie here to turn it all around. That's a great kill for Xmithie. And now GoldenGlue going to get slowed up. Huhi just needs to keep outplaying. GoldenGlue flashes out of the way, but Huhi phase us back in. Oh, no, he hit a minion. That could be disastrous, but they're going to try and complete the dive. GoldenGlue jukes around the Qs, and he's safe.
CLG eventually even up the gold here as they stick around too long. Go for the pincer onto Matt. Meanwhile, ReignOver pushed in the mid lane, so minions were lost there. And the fighting just constant here. All right, so Aphromoo flashes in for the point blank ultimate on the Q there to get the explosion. And then Stixxay trying to get the deadly first to lock in the kill, self-roots. And we've seen this so many times where supports are punishing the Jhin players with their self-root on Deadly Flourish, lands the easy bubble, and they get the kill because of it.
Yep, can't complete that replay though. That exchange was quite a bit longer. There's a couple trades back and forth. CLG end up ahead in kills by only one. Gold nice and even still though as TL did get first blood.
Oh.
Wards on wards being set. I'm not sure Stixxay is going to buy it. Just eats a Q there from Varus. Aphromoo going to poke them back out. Good route, actually, for a bit of additional damage.
Xmithie, you look at this, though. He's circled around, and he's just waiting for them to commit to this minion wave.
And now they're backing away. Seem to know already, but Piglet going to get tagged up. Damage starts. And now Matt actually going to try and body block, but he's going to get snared up by the Karma. Good flash to get out from under the tether, and Stixxay can't quite nail Piglet with the deadly flourish.
Jungler party down bottom. ReignOver is going to go to his Krugs, but it's already warded. Xmithie planted a ward over that side and has one lit up on the red quadrant here. So they will have full vision of the next few moments from ReignOver, allowing Huhi here to go for more trades.
Yep, I like that all there, but it's kind of funny as we watch these two tanks do battle. In fact, Darshan's committing his ultimate after Lourlo used his, so Lourlo really trying to push him out of lane here. Hook lands back in, Lourlo might be able to get a tank v tank solo kill, but no such luck.
Yeah, I mean, he gets a health advantage.
Sure.
So that's decent. Bottom lane, though, we're still fighting.
Oh, good up from Piglet, lands up Stixxay. Here's ReignOver as well, level 6, jumps in onto Aphromoo. That looks to be a kill. Aphromoo trying to run away, and Piglet gets his first one.
Piglet cashes in, plus they've got a lot of power here down to pressure this turret. Got to make the call here. Not going to have ReignOver stick around, and they finally decide to back off instead.
No cannon creep makes that a little tricky. Xmithie going to start off this blue buff. Donate that one over to Huhi. And again, all this section bottom lane kind of makes sense. And it's funny that we said that these two teams are trying to play their own style, but have kind of played the same style all series long. Roaming mid laners, tank top laners, and all the action in the bottom lane.
Well, the difference in mid laners right now is a decent amount of CS, as GoldenGlue has been able to punish Huhi pretty heavily. Both of them have been roaming a lot, as you said, but that is one of the big differences so far.
GoldenGlue still looking to push that lane in. Huhi, though, with the early revolver, can make some smart trades and try and get a lead, but Orianna so safe and stable in this mid lane. GoldenGlue doesn't even need to play towards all the Ekko zoning, and again, can kind of abuse the range advantage. Although Huhi pushing out is going to try and get out of lane as many times as possible, and his teleport's almost back up if he wants to make a global play with that as well.
Yep, just going to have the blue buff handoff here for GoldenGlue to be able to stay in the lane and continue to farm. Meanwhile, top laners' teleports will be coming off of cooldown after their last usages here. So if the sparks continue to fly on the bottom side, we might see more members joining that party. And the first turret gold is primed and ready. If they win the next one down around there, it could have a large payout.
Big poke on a Stixxay though. It's just serrated Dirk and a level 4 Piglet Q.
Added bonus of all the lethality, popularity. Every time, if there's a lot of fighting here in the bottom lane, every time you die, and you can still buy something. Buy a longsword, buy another longsword, grab your tier. A lot of little parts that they can stack up.
Well, party continues. Both junglers are actually down towards this side. Xmithie's starting a Drake though, and ReignOver's looking for another lane gank.
Yeah, it's an interesting little sidetrack here from CLG. They have had vision control for quite a while in the river, and they are going to take advantage of it, even though Team Liquid were moving down for another fight in bottom lane. CLG go for the objective instead and cash in on Ocean.
Pays up for themselves here, and pretty important in poke lethality-based AD carries to have the Ocean Drake. In fact, there's another one coming up, I believe. There we go. CLG have that one. Piglet and Matt, they're going to push this wave back out, as CLG did have to take the long way back around to lane. In fact, Xmithie's hanging out. They're hoping that Stixxay looks like good enough bait.
Yeah, a couple of deep wards there from Team Liquid, and farming continues. Still very close in this game. Haven't seen anything break it wide open yet. Double teleports from CLG. Have to keep that in your mind as well.
I think you've already mentioned it, but that first turret goal being up for grabs is probably what's going to start to swing it, and they will need some sort of exchange in action for that to happen. It's probably not here in the top lane though, although Lourlo is off to a small CS lead. Darshan should play catch up as the wave comes towards his turret, but maybe everyone's going to get involved. We've seen 3v3s a lot in the bottom lane in this first 11 minutes. Perhaps it's time for the top laners and the mid laners to all get in there as well.
Well, let's take stock of the summoner spells, as everybody is ready with them. So the ganks are decently hard to pull off here when everyone still has flashes. But we could see Xmithie go for one of those insect plays with a Xin and try and create something. Maokai, both top laners actually shove the wave and keep heading halfway down the river, but then get called off and go back to their relentless health battle.
This kind of tells you a lot about I think, where the teams want to find an advantage, given that everyone's leaving to try and see if they can't make something happen.
Well, also, we are seeing Visit here to the mid lane, but if we notice the trend in Vision, it had just swept all the way down. CLG had a bunch of red wards down around Dragon and into Team Liquid side. Now Team Liquid sweeping back as they group up jungler and support to fight back with the control wards. And that's really been the battle line that's been moving.
Everybody, again, just trying to get what advantage they can. Piglet doing some damage to the turret there, so maybe Team Liquid, if they can continue pushing in and playing up in this lane, can force something. In fact, ReignOver is also there just to the top. Maybe looking for a dive, but Xmithie around mid again. Ward hops over. Oh, good position there from Huhi. Gonna almost stun up GoldenGlue. They're gonna dive in for a GoldenGlue. Doesn't give it up. Flashes out of the way.
Super low though. Let's see what they do with this control of the map right now. He's gonna have to go all the way back to base and no teleport. CLG looks like they're just gonna try and get damage onto the turret. So not really gonna result in a big objective.
Not sure they can convert for much else with the Drake already been taken by them. So they'll do about 50% or maybe more. Don't have any more creeps coming just yet, so not going to take it down, I don't think. Good block there from Huhi on the spike, but ReignOver again leaps in. Xmithie makes sure to ward him off with a Q, and Hui's going to keep pushing through as GoldenGlue does return to lane. No boots could be a bit tricky, but Morellonomicon is a nice item spike for him.
Yeah, and it has started to even up the CS in that mid lane. When they have this constant pressure on GoldenGlue, the lead that he had is dwindled. Here comes the second invade of the jungler support combos.
They're going to miss though as Huhi diving back in onto GoldenGlue. Good shockwave pins him back, but Aphromoo still here.
Summoners!
He's going to flash forward and tether him up. There's here to collapse. Huhi is going to look to go down, and Matt's able to take out another kill. Yes, he is. Matt gets the double kill.
Team Liquid are able to get another one here as the teleport from Lourlo immediately goes off, but Darshan on Maokai. We'll have to see what happened at the beginning of the skirmish because it looks like he wasn't ready or they made the call that they didn't need him. Yeah, they very clearly did.
Blue buff still on the way as well, although ReignOver not feeling too confident with the rest of CLG collapsing. Going to try and steal it away. He doesn't have a smite though. And now Aphromoo going to tether him up. It's not going to land. The buff is low, but there's Darshan diving in. Ulti out is going to get the kill as there's Lourlo tagged up by the slow curtain call. Last bullet misses. But Huhi back in the mix again. Eats an instant aquabrism, but forces Lourlo to flash.
All right, back to 4-4 here as ReignOver goes down trying to get the blue buff. And he did eventually get the last hit on it, but doesn't get to wear it anymore. Darshan now, the proud owner of the champion's belt.
And the blue buff, which is nice. Xmithie, he's in a pocket of fog of war. Matt, he wants the big off play. Doesn't have ultimate though. Actually, just barely.
Gets a summoner heal out though, just because of the scare. And CLG again looking to press forward. Red buff is up. They could try and contest this. Turret should go down, and that will be the first one we've been talking up.
There's no trial. Lourlo's down here. Oof. Gonna zone them out of the way. Huhi and Xmithie will leave. Darshan walking back to top lane, and we'll reset things again as both teams have been playing it nice and close with the early skirmish trades.
Yeah, Team Liquid moving their defense quick, and CLG want to go grab top minion wave. So again, the action dissipates.
And understandably, this third game is played out very differently to the first two. No early leads here. Back and forth trading as the teams are just trying to make sure no one gets too far ahead.
All right, here's the start of it. Darshan was recalling, and they thought CLG made the call right here. Probably it was, hey, we got that kill pretty clean. And then by the time Lourlo shows up, they're like, oh goodness, you're probably dead anyway. So that's why they didn't want to use the summoner spell. But Team Liquid were able to use that to turn around until they invade on Baron and it gets turned around again.
Well, Xmithie also around the side of this turret. Could be a tower dive here for these two.
Might be dangerous because ReignOver is waiting around behind the wolf camp.
GoldenGlue, good instincts, actually going to check that brush before going to the blue buff, but Xmithie going to go for it. Blast cone used. Xmithie still chasing through, but ReignOver's now there. Shockwave gets him against the wall, but he safeguards out. There's the wave going to find Huhi. Goes for a bit of a surf, and assault continues on this turret.
All right, meanwhile, Tank's up on the top side. Lourlo has no teammates. They just got pushed out of his own jungle.
The kick back. Aphromoo trying to tether him up as well. Oh, he dredge lines up to the wall. But Xmithie going to keep chasing him. Ward goes down, but the team is there to protect him.
For how long?
Slow from Aphromoo. Good bubble there into Xmithie, but Lourlo is going to go down to Huhi. ReignOver gets the trade kill out onto the Lee Sin. But now they're going to keep chasing. Stixxay with a bullet. Tags Matt by GoldenGlue. Going to try and cancel it. He's just still shooting and Stixxay snipes Matt. Now going to have to flash away from GoldenGlue, is laying into him with auto attacks. Darshan goes down to Piglet, who's roamed up to the top lane also. And now GoldenGlue going to get snared up and killed by Huhi. What a mess. It's 3 for 2 on the back end.
Mess indeed, as Stixxay fires off all of his shots, and oh, they got the smite.
ReignOver says no, Huhi says see you later. I'm out with the chrono break.
All right, well, after all of that, you know, blue quadrant skirmish that we just had, gold goes back to pretty much even. And all the minions are right in the middle too, so no big swing from that kind of chaotic little fight that started with 4 people trying to take down Lourlo.
First turret still up for grabs as well, so 300 gold in the game so far. We're approaching 18 minutes pretty quickly here.
This is pretty fitting with how one-sided game number 1 was and how one-sided the other way game number 2 is. Game number 3, decisive series coming down to this one. Turret's about to go down.
Piglet gonna get kicked back in. Aphromoo looking to take it out. There's Stixxay with a kill. That's a second kill on the Nami as Stixxay just deletes Team Liquid's bottom lane.
Woo, they're able to use it as bait, kind of. The turret's still barely standing. CLG press forward.
Going for it, Darshan TP's in. Lourlo tagged Xmithie. No, ultimate gonna try and slow him down. Root in from Stixxay, tether in from Aphromoo. And now Huhi gonna look to dive it down as well. Lourlo running back towards his tower, but he's got no safety. Stixxay picked up a delayed triple kill.
They're able to use that juicy first turret gold as a little bit of bait and push it back the other way. This is the first of the really big swings in this game because Drake could follow right after this and add some more regeneration to CLG's side.
Finally, a real gold lead for one team. CLG up 2,500, gonna nab Ocean number 2 for themselves also.
Or are they? Team Liquid are looking to collapse.
GoldenGlue wants Aphromoo, but Huhi wants him instead. Blastgoon's gonna get him out. Matt's gonna tank up the shots and Ocean Drake will go over. Darshan gonna get waved. Nope, not quite. Avoids it.
Water ineffective against grass. Darshan makes his way back to home territory. And CLG, see what they can actually do. Because the bottom turret, I still expect it to go down to Team Liquid. It's very close. Let's take another look here, though, because, man, Xmithie makes the call. Any second later here, and Team Liquid would have more members arriving, but he gets right in onto Piglet, kicks him under the turret, and they get the kill just in time. Then channel the counter teleport here, and since they have Jhin for the long range snares, they would have chased down for another one.
And they just keep going. Huhi also on the roam again. GoldenGlue very far behind on this play. That's easy cleanup for CLG. They get the extra turret gold, they win the team fight, get the Drake, but TL, as expected, do clean up a bottom outer turret in the replay. So CLG still up 2,000 gold isn't bad. It's a lead, but it's not a huge lead.
Yep, still definitely relies on the execution in these team fights. Huhi, Xmithie, and Darshan looking to dive and try to find Piglet.
And I think now the game's broken open a little more. Good tag on
Piglet.
Them,
though.
Ten of corruption. ReignOver leaps in after the flash. GoldenGlue gonna seal it up. Shockwave doesn't land on others, but he's already got the kill. Darshan taking up on the front end. Xmithie kicks 3 into each other. Matt goes through his team, and now Darshan chasing through Huhi. Still going down. A Stixxay snipes one for the unstoppable Piglet. Trying to get a bit of extra work done here, but ReignOver getting chased down. Huhi just relentless in his chase on Team Liquid members, and Xmithie might try and grab another flank. Max kills out to save, but Darshan dives in, looking at the triple knockup. It's an absolute mess in the mix of it, but Lourlo goes down. Stixxay now dominating, and there's the snipes. Huhi on a killing spree, takes one down. Piglet down as well. Almost an ace for CLG.
Oh, GoldenGlue uses his shockwave on the one pick that they got, ends up killing Aphromoo before it even has to hit, and that is a huge team fight spell down. CLG, and Xmithie specifically, with a very big game-saving kick there, or team fight saving at least, kick there for CLG to turn the team fight around, and then a very critical chase down.
It's a lonely Nami, the defense on the Baron play. CLG all safely in the pit. Huhi's gonna zone out anyone that tries to come in. And maybe even take the turret down. He's got Baron, he might as well slap it. There's the phase dive. Matt gonna try and deter him, but Huhi's just gonna hang out. There's a second tower for CLG, who all of a sudden out to a 5,000 gold lead.
Yeah, a lot of leverage now for CLG with back-to-back victories, but look at this, they go all in. ReignOver flashes in on him, and then The shockwave there being down allows CLG to make this call. They fully engage this 4v5. Good split kick there, knocks up a bunch. Stixxay is able to chase off, and they just split them, divide and conquer here. Then basically, the chase is kept up with the confidence that they still have Jhin ultimate in about 3 seconds coming up. As soon as it comes off cooldown, Stixxay opens up, all the CLG members evacuate. Huhi ultimate's back. Xmithie's out there with the safeguard, and Darshan flashes. So all the front line engage for the snare and then are able to disengage right after and allow the cover fire to come through. That was slim margins, but very big winnings for CLG off of that team fight.
And just looking so confident as the blue buff does go over to GoldenGlue, the intended recipient, so that's good news for Team Liquid, but it is little victories right now. Darshan and his Baron up minions are actually going to kill Lourlo if he stays around for too long. Although Piglet's here, Darshan looking for the 1v2 now. He'll live for a while, he pops the ultimate. Lourlo actually still taking fire now, he's detented on the Piglet, and I don't think TL really like this situation. There's Jhin ultimate, this is a bit unfair, there's a kill for Darshan. After the snipe from Jhin. CLG not going to get the turret, but is continuing to do damage. 3 turrets to 1 already. Gold lead massive from the Baron that they picked up, and now Stixxay is going to take over duty in this push, and CLG are pushing it. Darshan instantly TPs back down to the lane. They want to break this game completely open.
4 turrets fall. CLG are cashing in big off of this one, and Huhi's going to make his possible escape here.
1v2 play time. Huhi going to get the first stun there. Blast cone's there. Shockwave back in his knife, but there's a chrono break. Damage in. Face time's over. Oh my god, he doesn't save himself. Shut down from GoldenGlue.
The auto's in the air already and finds him, but CLG are in the base.
Yeah, Lourlo going to get snared up as well. The inhibitor also exposed. Piglet is going to join the fight, but Darshan real tanky. Stixxay got exhausted. Saving that last shot for a carry. ReignOver going to try and poke them down as Piglet fires piercing arrows into the backline. Aphromoo evacuates
Teleported the river. They want to keep up this chase and cut them off. Nautilus coming down the river now.
He's trying to turbo it up. He's a little lumbering, but he's going to try and make it ASAP. TL, they're going to turn it back around, but CLG start the fight again. Matt's here, but Stixxay goes godlike, taking out the Kha'Zix. Now Darshan moving forward as he's going to get healed. He just cannot be killed. GoldenGlue goes down to Darshan, and now the chase is on. They're going to try and lock up Piglet, who flashes out to safety. Root not quite there, but Darshan wants to chase him. Good bubble from Matt. He's going to save him down, but it cost him his own life from Xmithie.
Better coordination from CLG on that call. They make the call to turn as soon as ReignOver jumps in, and ReignOver's a little bit early before Lourlo is able to get there. He gets blown up before it even starts, and CLG still have the Baron buff to push with.
Yep.
Inhibitor down.
There's the retake on the inhib. CLG to maximum damage with this Baron buff. Infernal Drake up in 10 seconds just as the Baron's about to dip away, and they're almost 10,000 gold ahead. In fact, Huhi may make it so if he takes his turret down.
Talked about the scrappy match victories that CLG have been getting. A lot of 2-1s now, and it looks headed that way as they really gain a strong foothold in this decisive game number 3. Look at the wards they've left behind. They've absolutely demolished the entire bottom side of the map. And as you said, very easy Infernal Drake to continue that snowball.
Stixxay going to help Xmithie out. This is taking a little too long. But Drake goes down. CLG collect their 3rd overall of the game, and watch this mess again. Lourlo, I like the attempt from Team Liquid.
He's almost there, though. So you wait a few more seconds as ReignOver before you jump in like that. Because that made CLG very decisive call. You see they all instantly turned on ReignOver. He's dead, and then Lourlo arrives at the fight, but you know, the squishies are already getting chased down, and nothing he could do. So a little bit early on the call there, but CLG good reaction to turn around and immediately focus fire the squishy assassin.
And all of a sudden, CLG are just disgustingly far ahead. Who's going to get this blue buff? They've got 3 items on all their carries pretty much. In fact, 3 items plus on Stixxay. Wave, they're going to find Aphro. Shockwave back in for the pick. Kind of corruption lands. It's going to sit the Maokai ultimate and be A-okay.
Whoa!
That last Q is not even enough, although Stixxay does burn the heal for it.
Yeah, pretty close there on Aphromoo.
Let the double ocean Drake kick into gear. And things feeling pretty good as Huhi's split pushing the inhibitor, shoving bottom wave. Super Minion's going to tie up Lourlo for a little while.
Yeah, takes Nautilus a long time to try and kill double Super Minion waves. And in that time, CLG are just trying to pressure down the bottom side.
Going to do this academic. CLG have looked very clean in all of these engages, despite how close the first 18-20 minutes was.
Huhi is actually pressuring the Nexus turrets while CLG taking this top side as well. Slowly but surely.
Walking it in. Again, can join the team with the teleport if he needs to, but it's not too far from them, given that they're shoving into the base of Team Liquid. Baron also up in a minute 20. Team Liquid, the problems just haven't stopped for them, honestly, in the last 5 to 10 minutes. And CLG know that they can be patient here. Anyone out of position to get a very simple pick, given how strong Stixxay is.
Yeah, the backline dive is actually very reliable for CLG. As long as Huhi does not get knocked up right as he's low health and can still get off his ultimate, they feel pretty confident about pushing this one in. Darshan doesn't care about tanking.
Yeah, he's going to go for it. Huhi going to try and zone them out with the parallel convergence. Damage starting onto the turret now. Xmithie safeguarding onto the Ekko. GoldenGlue does have
they're split!
Stixxay actually going to take damage from ReignOver. He's going to try and make the big play. Good flash out, though, and Stixxay gets himself out. Here comes the ultimate. Curtain Call takes GoldenGlue. Matt going to take the second, but Huhi straight into the mix. He gets Chain of Corruption, but Sun uses out the Shockwave, takes out ReignOver in the back end, and now surges forward to take down Piglet. Darshan gets the neck deal, and GoldenGlue bleeding as Darshan and Xmithie going to chase him down towards his fountain. Matt trying to save him with a double wall, but can't get it done. Now Lourlo looking to get tagged up next. Nautilus not quite getting his feet caught in the deadly flourish, but kickback from Xmithie should seal it. Lourlo flushes out to safety, but CLG and is tearing the base to pieces now.
Yep, Nexus turret number 2 won't last too long here. Lourlo's trying to save it though.
He's gonna do what he can, but the turrets are gonna fall down. Huhi diving in onto Matt as he takes that kill down. Lourlo just gonna get kite around. He's gonna try and save his Nexus, but CLG turn back towards it. Lourlo forced out of his own bed, and CLG taking over Team Liquid.
Racking up another win here for Counter Logic Gaming. Game number 3 really turning it on after those 2 team fights on the bottom side.
I mean, we always joke about it, right? But CLG always look best together. They played so cohesively in that game. I mean, that one big team fight that snowballed into the Baron, but you said it. That was a game that was very difficult to win. The margin for error, very thin. But they managed to do it, make it look pretty easy for them. And this continuing trend of CLG looking better and better as the weeks goes on, figuring themselves out, figuring the metagame out, and just getting some of their groove back. On full display there, I think, in game number 3.
Man, banning out ReignOver, targeting him with the Graves ban again. Once they got that one down, a lot more successful. Team Liquid did have a very good showing in that opener, though, when he did get the Graves for ReignOver and they got the early invade. Some things to look to for them, but definitely gonna have to recover after this because we are approaching the second half of the season here.
And I think for ReignOver in that last game, his Kha'Zix actually looked quite good. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't dominating like the Graves was. And it can be tricky to do that. Kha'Zix has been changed and nerfed a little bit on this patch. He still looked like his old self, but again, Liquid need to win together. And despite how close they made the first few minutes of the game, they just couldn't find team fights there. And CLG kind of ran them over in the back end of that game.
I think that last fight really encapsulates what you're talking about with winning together, where Teleport coming down with the tank, but he's not quite there yet. A couple seconds too early means that the more decisive team gets to turn around immediately and get the inhibitor out of it. And that really was why the game pace was so quick. This was only a 28.5-minute game, much quicker than we're coming to expect so far this split.
And credit to Xmithie as well. I think a lot of criticism has been leveled at him this season because it just hasn't seemed like his old stuff. Series looked quite good here against ReignOver.
Definitely. I mean, he smite steal in game number 1. Then he had the Dragon one as well. A lot of plays here on Lee Sin as well to get the team going, and definitely looking up.
Yeah, I think Huhi does feel in his element. Also, Ekko is the champion that you said last year he looked incredibly good. It's one of the first champions I saw him play, and I was like, okay, I get why Huhi's good now. He's really good on these zoning team fighting champions. He has really good in-game awareness, and his Ekko looks super solid. And if that's a champion that's making his way back into the meta, Huhi might find it on the ban list pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see the adaptations as well between these two teams, figuring out the values that each other do place in the champion picks and bans. But for more on that inside series, we're going to send it over